We're about to take the kids trick-or-treating.
That's why I'm here.
You can't just invite yourself.
Invite myself? This is my son.
Lonzo had a lot of enemies. I think I know who made the call.
What's this?
We're doing the Lord's work, so we gotta pay ourselves too.
I think we should pump the brakes on the book.
Why? This holiday is the devil's work.
Alicia.
Sit the down.
What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Mark Dark, and I'm back with another video. If you're new, if you love the Shy, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, like the video, and leave your theories, comments, everything down below. Now today, we're going to be talking about the Shy Season 6, Episode 14. This is the recap. Now I'm going to try my best to focus on all the key points in this episode. If I miss anything, you guys let me know down below. And man, we only got, 2 more episodes left for Season 6, and it's heating up. We're going to eventually see the final showdown with Alicia and Duda. Down below, you guys let me know who you got. Let me know how y'all think it's all going to play out, and if somebody else is going to get dropped off by the end of the season. Well, we know Emmett, he's going to have another crucial moment by the end of the season, and it's about to get real serious, y'all. I cannot wait to see what's next. But in this episode, we had a lot of different things going on, a lot of drama, and I'm still trying to figure out why the hell Darnell thought it was a good idea to have Keith working around his son Damien, knowing their history. Like, really? Like, why would you even want him by your son? The last time he was with him, you know what happened, so why would you even want to put him by your son once again? I mean, I don't know what Darnell was thinking. I mean, in this episode, we saw different things going on with Victor. We saw your boy Jake. He is sprung. The first lady, she got him sprung. He want more and more. But now, it doesn't seem like she's trying to give him more because she a tad bit busy. And I'm pretty sure that the Pastor Zeke, he about to turn up, y'all. He about to have some questions for the first lady because of who? Papa. Damn. If Kevin was here, maybe things would be a little bit different. Maybe Papa would have never went back to the pastor and basically let him know that you need to be watching your lady. You know what I'm saying? She out here getting her freak on. So y'all know it's going to be some negative consequences within that whole storyline. And of course, in this episode, we saw Nuck and Emmett. They had some parenting issues. I mean, what do y'all think about that? It's going to continue to be issues based off the way that Nuck is moving. I understand that he wants to be around his son, but you got to have rules and regulations and certain things that you just don't do. And from the looks of it, it seems like more things are going to come. Now, we're definitely going to talk about your boy Rashad. He felt like he was the man. He felt like he was the man at the end of the episode. I mean, he's like, look, Alicia, that's my lady, and you ain't going to be disrespecting her. So this whole thing, man, it's about to turn up. Rashad, he is here. He is about that life, and he ain't playing around. Now, let's begin the recap. As I told you guys, I'm going to try my best to focus on all the key points. If I miss anything, let me know down below. So what did we see in episode 14 titled Smoke and Mirrors? Now, it starts out with Victor having some very bad dreams. He is stressed out. He up in that bed sweating. I mean, he's thinking about all the bad things that he's done. He's thinking about Duda. I mean, he don't know what to do. We know he is on house arrest, and that's the last thing that he wanted to happen. But he wakes up because Jake is knocking on the door. Victor, he grabs the strap, and he points it at Jake. And Jake is like, man, I'm just coming up here to check on you. Like, what's going on? Now, I had the feeling it was Victor just based off his past and based off what he's going to be going through in this episode. And we know Jake is telling him, like, look, let's just have a Halloween party at the house because you can't go nowhere. We might as well have it here. That way you can be good because it seems like you need people around you. So I guess those groups that they be going to every week, they're paying off because Jake probably would have never done this in the past. But Jake, he's going to be throwing a Halloween party, everybody in black. I mean, I knew that's what it was going to be before Jake even said it. I'm like, man, everybody going to probably be dressed up in black. And I was laughing when Jake ended up mentioning that everybody will be in black on some straight hood activity up in there. Now, we get to Emmett and Keisha. They're taking pictures. They're getting ready to go trick-or-treating. And of course, Nuck if your buck, he decides to show up unannounced talking about, well, I figured y'all was about to go out trick-or-treating. And of course, Emmett is upset like, man, you can't just be popping up. I mean, as I told you guys, they need rules and regulations. And we know Keisha, she was trying to damage control, talking about, well, she didn't really tell him, so it's her bad. Now, Emmett was still not feeling it. But of course, it's Halloween. Everybody has costumes. Nuck said, look, I'm dressing up as a gangster, right? And Emmett is like, really, dude? Like, you got your gun? Like, come on. Man, this boy Nuck, he on one. Now, we get to your girl, Maisha. And I ain't gonna lie, I was happy to see Maisha's character in this episode, because Maisha, she be having me cracking up, and she always keeps it real. And she tells Gemma that she's going to take a break from the whole rapping thing. She wants to focus more on photography, and that's, maybe her new passion. So that's good. And we know she's going to take pictures at the Halloween party, and Gemma, she's going to hire her to take pictures of Brittany. Now, baby Ronnie is crying because he did not get the candy that he wants. We know Nuck is like, look, I got you. I'm going to order the candy. And we know Emmett, he was upset because he's like, look, he can't just get everything that he wants or whatever. Just because he cries does not mean he's entitled to get whatever. And we know Nuck is like, look, if I want to spoil my son, that's what I'm going to do. I mean, these white kids, they out here getting what they want. So why can't my kid get what he wants, right? So it's like a back and forth thing. But we know Nuck feels like he's the father. Emmett is not the father, so he should be able to do what he wants to do. At the same time, we know baby Ronnie is in the household that Emmett is the head of. So they got rules and regulations, man. As I told you guys, they need to really just sit down and figure this all out. Ain't no use to be going back and forth. We know Keisha, she pretty much tells them that tonight is not the time to be doing all this, right? Now, we get to your girl LaPortia and Nina. They kicking it, having a good time. We know LaPortia, she is trying to take it to that next level, but Nina, she's kind of holding back or whatever. And LaPortia is telling her, whatever you do, don't slow down. You still have a life to live. She just, wants Nina to have fun and, enjoy life while she can. I mean, she only got one more kid in the household, which is Lene. And then after that, I mean, Nina can do whatever the hell she wants. But we know Nina, she is still kind of thinking about it. But, I mean, she's not with Dre no more. She might as well have fun and look out for herself and have a good time. Now, we get to the Halloween party. The first lady, she pops up and everybody was looking like, man, the first lady is here. We know Bakari and Papa was looking like, really? She actually showed up. Papa had the look on his face like, man, this is not right. And y'all know he wasn't feeling it. And this is why he ended up going back to the pastor and basically letting him know that you need to be watching the first lady. But man, Papa had me cracking up talking about, I could have bought you some chips. Well, the first lady, she just wanted to drop some chips off. You know what I'm saying? Nothing too much, but it's understandable, man. The first lady, she bold. She bold for walking up in there with all those younger people, but she don't give a damn. I told you guys, that girl, she's a freak. We don't call her Tatiana. Y'all know. We call her Tatiana, and she was definitely ready to bust it down. Now, we get to Professor Gardner and Duda, and as I told you guys last night, Duda, he's one of those old heads in the city that knows everybody. And apparently, him and Professor Gardner, they went to high school together, and they have a history. But we know Professor Gardner, he was laughing at first about the whole laptop thing and Bakari, but he told him like, look, it ain't even worth it. How about you just let Bakari go? Leave him alone. Duda is like, hell nah, it ain't happening. And they got into like an argument, and Professor Gardner pretty much told Duda the truth about himself, that he's never changed and that he's basically preying on these young boys and making them do all his illegal activity. I mean, he actually tells Duda that you had all the potential in the world, and apparently we know that potential went to waste. Duda was pissed off and told him to get the hell up out of there. I'm just hoping nothing bad happens to Professor Gardner, because usually when you piss Duda off, he finds a way to get you up out of here. Now, we know Alicia, she has a conversation with the judge. We know they are friends. She pretty much tells her, like, look, I know you're running for a higher position, and if all this stuff does not go well with Victor in this, this whole case, and you find him guilty, your numbers, they gonna go down, and your career, it ain't gonna be looking too good. So she's putting out that threat to the judge. So we know the judge said, you know what? I'm not about to sit up here and lose my position and lose my money. So this is why that case ended up getting dismissed later on in the episode. Now we get to Papa and Pastor Zeke. We know they had an event at the church. Papa is doing his thing. We know Pastor Zeke is very proud of him. But once they go to the back, Pastor Zeke gives Papa his cut. And it was a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? A whole lot of money, talking about the Lord wants us to pay ourselves too, right? Now, Papa, he brings up the first lady, talking about, can you trust her? Do you know where she was at and all this stuff? And how long have y'all been married? I mean, Pastor Zeke was not really filling the questions. We know they've been married for 5 years, but we know by the end of this conversation, he was pissed off. And we can tell that he wants to ask, the first lady some questions. And this whole thing with Jake, y'all know is going to backfire just based off the way that this pastor was looking. I mean, y'all saw how he was acting when he had that conversation with Duda. He thought he was the king until Duda had to let him know he's not the king. So what is he going to do next? What is he going to do to the first lady? And if he finds out the truth, what will he do to Jake? Well, I'm going to tell you right now, it ain't going to end well. That's what we do know, because Jake, he's been warned time and time again. But I'm kind of upset that Papa even went back to Pastor Zeke and opened up his mouth in the first place. But it is what it is. And we know that Victor, he ends up telling Jake that he needs to watch out for the first lady. He doesn't necessarily know if he can be trusting her like that. But we know Jake, he feels like he has everything up under control. Now, we get to Quincy, and y'all know he all in his feelings because he's not liking that DeAndre is still doing business with Duda. And Quincy, he cannot let it go, right? Now, he ends up meeting up with his old flame to take out his frustrations, and they end up hooking up. But for some reason, I don't think this whole thing is going to end well. I mean, if DeAndre finds out about what's going on, I think we're going to see a different side of him. I mean, if DeAndre is still working for Duda, knowing what Duda has done, that lets me know that DeAndre probably is about that life as well. And Quincy, he probably going to need to watch himself, especially if the truth does come out about what he's done hooking up with his old flame. Now, we get to Rashad and Victor, and they have an argument because Victor, he don't trust Alicia. And we know Rashad, he's telling, Victor that, look, Alicia changed my life. We know Victor is telling him, just because she gave you a job and a leather jacket don't mean nothing. And they go back and forth about who's helped who or whatever. And we know Rashad is telling Victor, like, look, you need her help, because Victor was acting like he doesn't need her at all. But we know that's probably not the case. I mean, he has that house arrest monitor on his ankle. So we know Alicia's going to help him out later on in the episode. And of course, they're going to pull up on Victor and let him know exactly what they done. Now we get to Maisha and Bakari. We know Bakari, he is talking to everybody, letting them know that Coogie popped up in his dream, telling him that he thinks she should be doing better and that basically he wants him to live a better life. Maisha, she had me cracking up. She's like, really? I could have told you that. I mean, that's common sense. And we know she was up there taking pictures, making fun of Bakari. Everything seemed good up until Brittany walks in. And Brittany, she thought she was good, you know what I'm saying, laughing and all that. But Bakari, he wasn't laughing. And he just walked off because he understands that Brittany is working for Duda and she's running her mouth entirely too much about what he is doing. Now we get to Tierra and Marcus. Marcus, he went out with the fellas. He was trying to have a good time. He comes back home. Tierra was upset, like, really? Like, I cannot believe you left me. And she's not feeling it, right? And Marcus is like, well, I'm not used to having to check in. And basically, they just break up, you know what I'm saying? Because he might as well just be single. Tierra, we can tell that she's tired of, having these conversations with him. I mean, of course, they had arguments about the pictures. Now it's arguments about, Marcus going out. And if this is official, this breakup, I want to know what Tierra is going to do next. Do you guys believe that Tierra may make a move on Rashad? I mean, we know Rashad, he's all cleaned up now. He got him a new leather jacket, or an old leather jacket, and he feeling real good. So what's going to happen if Tierra does make a move? I don't know if it's going to happen, but I think it will make the storyline a tad bit more interesting, seeing that the two hooked up before, and now Rashad is kicking it with Alicia. She will be pissed off at the same time. We know Rashad being in those, therapy sessions with Marcus is going to make the conversation very interesting, but we're going to find out soon. Now, we get to Darnell, and we get to your boy Jackie Long. He is playing Keith, and apparently, 6 years ago, he took the full rap for a robbery gone wrong, and we know that your boy Damien, he was a part of it, but he didn't get caught. And we know that Keith, of course, took that full bid, as I just stated. Now, it's 6 years later. He wants Darnell to look out for him, even though Darnell was putting money on his books. I mean, he was helping him out when he was locked up. That's not enough. Now, apparently Darnell told Keith that his son will have a bright future, so it's best that he just serve those years and leave his son up out of it. I mean, at the end of the day, Keith, you got caught. You know what I'm saying? Plain and simple. I mean, if I was in his shoes, I would feel bad for myself, not for what happened, to everybody else. At the end of the day, we know Keith is older than Damien. He agreed to do the robbery. So if he got caught, he had to be willing to accept those consequences and not be asking Darnell for no damn favors. But it's understandable. I understand people, they take deals all the time. We know if Keith would have gave up Damien's name, then he probably would have got less time, but that didn't happen. But we know Keith is looking for a job, and Darnell tells him he's not hiring, but he'll see what he can do. And when he said that, I already knew what time it was. I knew he was going to put this all on Emmett. Like, really? This was a dumb move by Darnell. I mean, you guys can let me know what y'all think about that. Now, with the help of Alicia, the judge ended up dropping the case. It is dismissed. Your boy Victor is good. No more house arrest, right? No more. So now he can focus on his political stuff and getting his money and, being a better person. And once he goes outside, Rashad, he pulled up along with Alicia, and they pretty much told him, like, look, what I'm saying? We helped you out, you're welcome. And we know Rashad told him congratulations. So the stuff that he was talking about as far as Alicia, it actually was true. I mean, Rashad said she would be willing to help him, and we know she will help Victor because Rashad, he is real cool with Alicia right now. But at the same time, I do agree with what Victor was talking about. Alicia, she can't be trusted. I don't care what she's done. Now, we get to your girl Rose. She's kicking it with Serena. They're getting real close. Serena, she wants to protect Rose at all costs. They end up going to meet up with Duda. And we know Serena, she ends up, being able to get her a strap. And we know Duda, he was laughing at all of this. I mean, he don't give a damn. Y'all know Rose and Duda's relationship is all over the place. But I know one of you guys was asking, how is Serena going to know if anything goes down? Well, I'm pretty sure she's going to feel the vibrations. I know deaf people, that's how they sense certain things or whatever. But those eyes, they better be open. They better be open at all times because you just never know. But this whole thing with Serena and Rose is crazy. And I want to know if Serena going to end up catching a body. Now, we get to Bakari and Professor Gardner, and we know Gardner tells Bakari that he had a conversation with Duda. It did not go well, and he tells him we need to pause on the book right now. Bakari is like, really? He could not believe it. He was pissed off, talking about, if he is not able to do this, his life is pretty much done for. So we're going to see where it goes. At the end of the day, Bakari understands that Duda is a threat, and in order to be able to do what he wants to do, he will have to eliminate Duda. I don't know if Bakari is going to do it or somebody else, but I told you guys, this thing is building up. Bakari, he is getting tired of everything that Duda is doing, and I got a feeling the old Bakari is going to pop up by the end of the season. Now we get to Nuck and Keisha, and we know Nuck, he was saying sorry because of baby Ronnie's condition, but that's not his fault. That's what Keisha tells him. I mean, that's all in genetics. He does not have control over that. Now Keisha does tell him that she's happy that Nuck is the father and it ain't that sickos. She's just happy that it is somebody that she used to love. Now Nuck is like, really? Like, so you don't love me no more? And Keisha's like, hell nah, I don't love you no more. Like, get over it. It's over. But we know Nuck, he gonna continue to press this. We know he was in his feelings, but I believe this is gonna cause more issues with Keisha, Nuck, and Emmett. You guys let me know. Now, Brittany tells Gemma and Maisha about the whole thing with Duda and how she's spying on Bakari. They was upset, like, really? They can't believe she's doing this. And we know they tell her, like, look, you need to tell Bakari the truth because that's wrong. So we know she's going to have that sit down with him, and it's probably going to happen in the next episode. Now we get to Keisha and Nina, and she tells her about LaPortia and how she's basically coming back to try to get her after she broke up with Dre. And we know Keisha, she just wants her mom to be happy and do what's best for her. I mean, might as well, you ain't got nothing else to do, so you might as well just be happy and have a little bit of fun. Now, we get to Nuck and your girl Tiffany, and Tiffany was kind of frightened when Nuck popped up, but Nuck told her, look, he would never put his hands on a female. He has all this respect and all that. He was looking for Rob, but Rob is not there. Rob owes him some money, but we know Tiffany, she's going to help take care of it. And, Tiffany was just upset that Nuck was there in the first place, telling him that, pretty much black man ain't nothing without black women. And Nuck is like, well, you're probably right. Now, we get to your boy Darnell. he has a conversation with Emmett. He tells him about the whole Damien thing and the robbery going wrong. Your boy Emmett, he was cracking up at first. He was like, really? Because he cannot see Damien, putting in work like that. Now, Darnell tells him he needs to get, Keith the job. And, Emmett tells him, well, I got a janitor job that he can have. And that's what ended up happening. And man, your boy Keith, he was pissed off. He didn't say nothing to Damien at all until the very end of the shift. And he told him, like, look, I'm going to make your life a living hell every day that I see you up in here. That's exactly what I'm going to do. I mean, your pops was talking about you was going to be, so successful and everything like that. But you not doing nothing anyway. We working at the same spot. I mean, your boy Keith, he is just feeling very disrespected and that he wasted his time, in jail because of this guy right here. So y'all know this ain't going to end well with this Keith character being around Damien. I told you guys earlier, I don't know why in the hell Darnell thought this was a good idea to put these two in the same spot once again, knowing their history. It makes no sense at all, but that's just me. But you can tell something bad is going to happen. It's whether Damien is going to make a move or Keith is going to make a move. But somebody is getting hurt out of this storyline. Now, we get to Kenya and Zay. We know Zay, he just caught a body, so he ain't feeling the best. And we know Kenya, she wants to know what he's been up to, but y'all know Zay ain't gonna tell her or whatever. She's talking about she just wants to feel safe and all that. Like, really? You kicking it with Zay ain't no feeling safe, especially seeing how this guy works for Duda. Like, come on, Kenya, get it through your dome. But apparently, she ain't getting it, and she likes this type of lifestyle because she already knew that Zay works for Duda in the first place, but she still decided to mess around with him. So this is just the consequences of her actions. Now, we get to your boy Jake. He sprung, y'all. He wants to kick it with the First Lady, but the First Lady, she too busy right now. She ain't got time for him, and Jake is all up in his feelings. I mean, it is what it is. I'm going to tell you right now, this whole thing with the First Lady, it ain't going to end well. Jake has been warned time and time again. And then you got Papa running his mouth. Expect the pastor to make a move very soon and start asking questions. And he probably going to be about actions as well. Now we get to the end of the episode. Alicia finally decides to pop up on Duda. He was thinking that it was Bianca, but no, it is Alicia. She got the key. She there and she's about that life. And she's basically telling Duda it's just a matter of time before she takes him out and that she should have never sent Rob to do the job in the first place, right? Now Duda, he doesn't give a damn. He grabs her up telling her like, look, I can take you out right here, right now, and ain't nothing you can do about it. But then all of a sudden your boy Rashad, he pops up like Shaft. He is thinking that he is the man. And hey, he ain't playing around. He got that strap and he told Duda to get his hands off his woman, right? So your boy Rashad is about that life. And we know Alicia, she tells Duda like, look, I got soldiers too. So she is ready. This was more of a threat type of move. We know Duda was talking about how he knows that she met up with Zay and everything like that. But Alicia understands that it's just a matter of time before Duda and his money is not going to be enough for the people that he got working for him. And eventually, he going to be up out of here. Well, we're going to see how Duda's going to respond in these last 2 episodes. I'm pretty sure he about to turn up. If Duda going to go out, he going to go out with a bang. That's my prediction. Now, down below, I want you guys to let me know exactly how you think this whole thing is going to play out. We will continue to talk about The Chi Season 6 and get ready for Episode 15. But I want to thank you guys once again for all the love, all the support, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. But let me get up on out of here, man. It's your boy Mark Dark. I'm out. Peace.